Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here, rocking the 100 Thieves jersey again. If you didn't see my last video, this one just came in today. I'm super hyped, super excited about it. Like the stone color, I'm pretty sure it's limited edition. You know, I had to pick it up. It looks clean, feeling good. Today, as you guys can see on the screen, we're going to be talking about Perkz, we're going to be talking about Cloud9, we're going to be talking about MSI, because really throughout the whole year, my focus as a Western League of Legends fan had a lot been on G2. You know, I love the LCS, I'm always going to root for NA, I'm always going to root for the NA teams, NA players, all that, but this season was really up and down, and MSI, while I thought Team Liquid at the beginning of the season, I thought they would be a solid representative at international tournaments. I thought Cloud9 would be good too, but thought they might be a little shaky with Fudge up in the top lane. I'd mostly been focused on G2. Since MSI didn't happen in 2020, dating back to 2019, G2 was the defending MSI champions. They seemed like they were a roster that could compete internationally. They seemed like they were good enough to stand up to FPX, to stand up to Damwon Gaming. But obviously all of that came crumbling down. But what I never realized until Perkz actually tweeted this is that in North America right now, we have a defending MSI champion. We have a guy who's going to be going there and defending his championship, defending his honor against Damwon Gaming, against FPX, against Mad Lions, all these teams out there. So even though G2 came up short, there is still a defending champ there. There is still a very fun storyline. So that's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Before we get into that, I just want to mention real quick, if you guys have not already, take a second, smash the like button. Helps me out a ton with the YouTube algorithm. Also subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content so you guys don't miss out on anything we got going on in the future. So like I said, Perkz tweeted out the reigning MSI champion is coming to defend the belt. And I don't know how the storyline completely went over my head. I completely forgot about it again. Like I said, I have been talking about G2 with that a ton because that has been a big storyline that a lot of people have been talking about. But Perkz being able to go from Europe, go from being an 80 carry, the 3 out of the last 4 splits over in Europe, to come over to the LCS, we knew he was going to be good. We know he was probably even going to be great. We knew he was going to be amazing. And most of the time in LCS, that's what he was. He had some down moments. He didn't start out that hot in the lock-in tournament. He was kind of bouncing around for a little while. But overall, throughout most of the regular season, Cloud9 was seen as the best team in the LCS. In playoffs, they were that. Obviously, in Game 5, he absolutely pops off on the silos. He carries Cloud9 to an LCS title in his very first split in the LCS, becomes just the second player ever to win both an LEC and an LCS title, joining his teammate Sven. And also, you know, he was just great. He was just awesome. He was just so good in so many different ways. He was more than we could have expected. But again, now he is headed to MSI, and people are going to be really excited about this. You know, Perkz still has a ton of G2 fans backing him. He still has a ton of European fans backing him. And now that G2, Fnatic, they're not going to be the European representatives, while Mad Lions does have a big fan base. I believe they were the 3rd highest team in terms of average viewership in the LEC this past split. People were really excited about them. People are hyped up for them, but I believe Perkz and G2 and the G2 army is going to be coming out in defense of Cloud9 and Perkz a lot as well. I think, you know, obviously NA and EU is always a really big rivalry, but now that we have this commonality in Perkz, I think people are going to be really coming together and kind of backing up Perkz and Cloud9 a lot. I think they're going to gain a lot of fans now at MSI, since one of the bigger storylines was we're going to get to see Perkz against G2. We're going to get to see them going head to head. We're going to see what that kind of grudge match looks like. We're going to see if there's any bad blood there and how Perkz can do against his former teammates, his former organization, and if G2 can kind of stomp Cloud9 and stomp Perkz and make him regret leaving and all that stuff. But yeah, obviously that didn't happen, so now it's just going to be backing up Cloud9, backing up Perkz, but they're obviously going to be fighting an uphill battle. Even though he is defending his championship, he's defending his belt, he won this tournament just 2 years ago, and then obviously Corona got involved and we weren't able to have it last year, so he wasn't able to defend it then. Now he's on Cloud9 doing so. Another big storyline here is the fact that Damwon Gaming has been a bitter G2 rival for a while now, dating back to the 2019 World Championships when Damwon Gaming was seen as this new up-and-coming team. G2 was obviously the team that made it to the final. They were the team that kind of overshadowed them. They were the team who beat them and eliminated them from the tournament and started some of this bad blood in the rivalry, and we got to see that again last year with G2 and Damwon Gaming matching up in the semifinals, and Damwon Gaming with a much more convincing convincing win, a 3-1 victory, I believe, in the semifinals to go to the finals. And then also they were actually successful in taking down the cup. So now they're kind of feeling on top of the world. You know, Showmaker has been very outspoken about the rivalry with Caps and with G2 and all that. And now all they have is Perkz to kind of continue to get revenge on and continue to stake their claim as the best team, the best players in the world. But this is going to be the first time that Perkz is playing mid lane up against Damwon Gaming. This is going to be Perkz versus Showmaker. This is going to be fun. This is going to be exciting, and it's going to be really, really cool. But yeah, Perkz being so successful in his first split in the LCS, and I know it happens to NA, it happens to the LCS teams every time. Every time there's an international event, the teams, the players, the fans, they start to get their hopes up. They start to get excited because Cloud9 looks honestly pretty good right now. They have Sven, they have Perkz, they have Blabber, they have Vulcan, they have a ton of world-class caliber players. We've seen Sven be great on international stages. We've seen Perkz. We've seen, you know, not as much from Blabber, but he's been one of the best NA players the last couple of years. Vulcan has gotten praise around the world as being absolutely world-class. Fudge is a very, very young guy who's going to soak in so much experience, so much information from this. So all of a sudden, it's feeling like NA has life. Cloud9 has life. We've always kind of had that life in the past, but some of our best players, Bjergsen hasn't had the best international performances. Doublelift, we know he hasn't had the best international performances. But now, the team that we're sending to MSI, Cloud9, is led by an actual force on the international stage in Perkz, who this guy always shows up in the clutch. Cloud9 was down 1-2 in the finals. 1-2 comfort zone, playoff Perkz, game 5 Perkz. He showed up and he absolutely smashed. And we've seen him time and time again show up on the international stage. Even back when G2, I'm thinking back to like Hjarnan and Wadid days where G2 wasn't even seen as like a super threat internationally, and they still were showing up at Worlds with huge performances. Perkz was carrying that G2 team against RNG. And obviously over the years we've seen G2 win, Perkz win an MSI title, make it to World Finals, World Semis. He shows up time and time again. Obviously this is going to be the first time as a mid laner in a little bit, but people are really excited. And I did have a tweet out that was like, it feels really good for once having a guy like Perkz on our side, having that guy who actually has shown up and had big international performances, because we haven't had that for a while. An NA team hasn't even made it out of groups and worlds in the last couple of years. Yes, we did have Team Liquid making it to the finals of MSI, and that was awesome. That was really cool to see, but that seemed kind of like a one-off when we go to worlds that year and just kind of fade and aren't able to back that up, aren't able to have these repeat performances. So I do think the top of the LCS is pretty solid. I think TSM is decent. They showed a lot of holes. But I think Team Liquid and Cloud9 are both honestly pretty good teams. And all of a sudden, I've seen some people on Twitter, I've seen some people in my YouTube comments and stuff saying that they think Cloud9 is actually a better team than Mad Lions. And to say that the LCS representative was going to be better, or at least in the same conversation as the LEC representative, even a couple weeks ago, but say a couple months ago, people would have thought you were absolutely insane. People would have thought you were crazy. But Cloud9 is NA's best team historically internationally. They haven't gone to MSI yet, but this is going to be their first chance at MSI. They're going to have a chance to replicate some of their awesome Worlds performances in the past. They've made a World Semi. They've gotten out of groups a couple of times. They've had some big upsets. They're going to have a chance to do it and show what they got. And again, I think they have an awesome cast. They have a great mix of young talent who is very talented and exciting, but also veterans who we know are pretty likely to show up and at least show their best. Maybe their best won't be good enough. Maybe they still get stomped by FPX. Maybe they still get stomped by Damwon Gaming. And I think it's even, probably likely that they get stomped by at least Damwon, because Damwon is coming into this tournament looking so good. Their team is so stacked. They play such an insane style. They're so fun to watch. They're so good. But this Cloud9 team is going to be exciting, and it's at least giving the LCS fans some hope, and that's all we ask for. Hopefully we get some good results. Hopefully we at least get to tune into MSI with some expectations, with some excitement, and also it's really cool that in this group stage, Cloud9 is actually in the group with Damwon Gaming. So right off the bat, we are going to see Perkz against Showmaker. We are going to see Perkz against Damwon Gaming. Those are going to be exciting. That's going to be, all the LCS against all the LCK, and again, the European fans getting involved as well. We're going to see an old rivalry rekindled, and we're going to see just where Cloud9 is at internationally right off the bat. We're going to see right where LCS is right off the bat and see just how good our team is and how good our league is compared to the rest of the world, getting to match up against Damwon Gaming right away. And again, do I think Cloud9 is going to come off and pull some crazy upset? No, not at all, but it's going to be interesting, and I think they should be able to get out of groups and then get to see themselves up against Mad Lions, get to see themselves up against FPX or RNG, and against some of these other best teams in the world internationally. And no matter what happens with Cloud9 here, I still think it's going to be an awesome experience, and I think it's going to prepare them so much going forward when we look at the World Championship, or even when we look into 2022, because it's all about NA and the LCS getting better year over year over year. But again, being captained and being led by the defending MSI champion, a guy who's hungry, a guy who wants to prove himself, a guy who wants to, stick it to some of these teams and show that he is a world-class mid laner still. This is his opportunity to show that he is an absolute world-class mid laner still who can carry teams and to add to his legacy. If you come to NA, obviously expectations are way lower, but if you come to NA and you have results at MSI, if you have results at Worlds, that's almost more impressive. That's almost crazier. It almost adds more to your legacy than what he was able to do in G2. Like, yeah, what they did was amazing, but everyone says the LCS sucks. Everyone says NA sucks. Everyone writes them off. Everybody gives up on them. If Perkz can be the guy to come here and turn NA around, to turn an LCS organization around, to get us some respect on the international stage, that is going to be a huge story. That is going to be a huge thing. That is absolutely going to add to Perkz' career and his legacy. In a way that, a lot of other stuff can't. He's got a bunch of titles. He's got a championship. He's got trophies. He's got everything. He's got money. He's rich. He's famous. Everybody knows him. But again, doing it in NA makes it a little bit harder, makes it a little bit more interesting. But I'm excited. I know Cloud9 fans are excited. LCS fans are excited. And I hope, I hope Europe does well. I hope NA does well. But Cloud9, Perkz, they're going to be defending the MSI belt. They're going to be defending that MSI championship. And it's going to be fun to watch. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below. How do you think Cloud9 is going to do at MSI? How do you think Perkz is going to do at MSI? Where do you expect them to finish? Do you think they're going to pop off? Do you think they're going to disappoint? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe to Tip Dan on my latest content. Hopefully I catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace!